Hey guys, welcome to Technability, your source for no-nonsense tech. We got an awesome comparison here for you guys today. The Samsung Galaxy Note 5 versus the Apple iPhone 6s Plus. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started here by looking at both of their respective hardware. Alright, let's go ahead and look around both devices here together first. You can see in terms of thickness, both are thin devices, ever so slightly over 7 millimeters. Both thin, both lightweight. Just super high class in terms of their build quality, which we'll get into in a moment individually. But I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys each one, or both phones on top of one another. Okay, you can see in terms of size, the 6 Plus is slightly bigger. Alright, before we get started here with the 6 Plus hardware, I want to go ahead and thank you guys for watching Technability, your source for no-nonsense tech. If you already haven't, hit the subscribe button below and like the video. Alright, here you see the 6s Plus. If you guys already haven't, check out the individual review of this device. I cover all the details of the hardware as well as the software, new features with iOS 9 and all that good stuff. Again, just going around the device, you can see the speaker grill, the lightning port, 3.5mm headphone jack, 1080p Retina HD or Retina Plus display rendering 401 pixels per inch, Touch ID sensor, 5 megapixel front-facing camera, volume rockers, vibrate mode, nothing up top, power button on the side. Of course, you see the back here. You got the S logo, the Apple logo with the 12 megapixel camera, alright, which now also shoots in 4K. Alright, so that's pretty much the hardware here. Again, it's 7.9 millimeters, an A9 processor, 2 gigs of RAM running iOS 9, so all the bells and whistles, and of course Apple's new feature with the 6s and 6s Plus, 3D Touch, which we'll get into in a moment. Alright, here you have the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. Now this has a 5.7 inch, again the 6s Plus is 5.5 inches. This has a 5.7 inch 2K resolution display, rendering over 500 pixels per inch, so you're going to be hard pressed to notice pixels on this device or even the iPhone 6s Plus. Of course, you have the fingerprint scanner, home button on the bottom, menu button, back key. Of course, again, very little bezel, metal on the sides, power button, speaker charging port, 3.5mm headphone jack, the S Pen. And on the rear, you see you have the 16 megapixel camera with flash. This also doubles up as the S Health sensor. Okay, you see up top you have the SIM card tray. On the front you have the 5 megapixel front facing camera. Very thin device as well. In terms of processor, this thing has 4 gigs of RAM, an octa-core processor. It has 32 and 64 gigabyte models. It's literally got all the bells and whistles in terms of hardware. However, one thing, and it has a 3000 milliamp battery. One thing that it doesn't have is a removable battery or SD card, which Samsung basically trashed, or not trashed, but you know, put aside for the Note 5 S6 and S6 Edge, as well as the S6 Edge Plus. So they said our users no longer need that. So we're going to release a unibody device, glass back, which is a fingerprint magnet, by the way. Where you cannot remove the battery. Now, thus battery life has been pretty solid on the Note 5, so I'm not complaining. Now, looking at both devices next to each other, they look similar in terms of size, but believe it or not, the iPhone is slightly bigger because it has more bezel on the front. And again, if you guys want to go in depth in terms of software, go ahead and check out the individual comparisons for both devices. Now, again, just in terms of looks, both of these phones are absolutely elegant, beautiful in their design. Again, just putting them on top of each other here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what they look like. So a lot of people say that the Note and the S6 look a lot like the iPhone. I guess you can make that argument, but I really don't see it. I think both are unique in their own way. Of course, you have the glass and the unibody metal with the iPhone. The glass with the Note 5 and the unibody metal with the iPhone. And then again, in terms of the screens, this is 2K, this is 1080p, but you're going to be hard pressed to notice pixels on either of these devices. Both have absolutely stunning displays, great viewing angles, great in direct sunlight, or as they call it, lux rating. So in terms of their displays, you know, they're pretty solid in my opinion, so no complaints there. Alright, let's go ahead and get started by looking at their cameras, and we'll look at some unique features between both. Again, you can see both respective cameras, 16 on the Note, 12 megapixel on the iPhone. Both have burst shot. Okay. Both take absolutely stunning photos and video. Both record in 4K. The Galaxy Note 5 has 60 frames per second 1080p recording. Of course, you have square on this. You also have high frames per second on the slow-mo feature, time lapse, square panorama. You have filters as well here on the iPhone, which again, the quality is phenomenal on the iPhone, no doubt about it, but is also phenomenal on the Note 5. I'm a fan of both cameras. However, I am going to give the edge to the Galaxy Note 5 because I feel the pictures just look a little more clear and crisp. I seem to have this grainy issue with the iPhone. Now that could be isolated to just my phone, and I'm not saying that it's not a good camera, but thus far with the pictures and video I've taken, I seem to be preferring the Note 5. But again, that could be in the eye of the beholder. You can see better images. Maybe you like the color saturation of the iPhone better. And some people will say, well, Super AMOLED saturates the pictures more, and that's true, but transferring them to my computer, the quality was still really phenomenal. Again, you have a lot of features here with the Galaxy as well in terms of camera options. You have HDR auto, you have a multitude of different effects. Of course, you have filters as well. You have different modes. Alright, so you can see the variety of different modes: panorama, selective focus, pro, live broadcast, video collage, slow motion, fast motion, virtual shot, and you could download more if you'd like. Alright, you can see the front facing camera here as well. There I am. Alright, front facing camera also has options. So quick shutter speed, awesome quality, and again, if I was to just zoom in 100%, the quality is still pretty solid. Of course, it gets grainy and the quality drops, but it's still really solid. Just an overall fantastic camera in my opinion. I'll go ahead and showcase some video quality shortly. Alright, and just the same can be said with the iPhone. Okay, the quality is phenomenal. Again, you can see the filters here. Super fast shutter speed, and you also have the ability to use the front-facing camera with the flash feature, and the screen just gets basically bright. And if you turn that on here, I'll show you guys what that looks like. See how that works. Put it back to auto. Oh, you have live photos as well, which is a feature in the gallery. The front-facing camera on this thing is phenomenal. I prefer the front-facing camera on the iPhone over the Note 5. It just has better quality. It's a little more clear and crisp and smooth. Alright, but again, the back camera, the rear camera, 12 megapixel. Again, you also have 4K recording now. Slow-mo's there as well. So the cameras on both devices are phenomenal. I mean, these can definitely replace your point and shoot in terms of just, you know, if you don't want to carry around a big camera. I think they could. I mean, the quality's obviously not up there with a DSLR, but eventually one day it will be. That's just how technology works. And you can see the gallery here. Picture I just took. I have the ability to edit it, the ability to share it, etc. We'll get into the gallery in a moment on both devices. Sample 1080p video here with the iPhone 6s Plus. Showcasing video quality here. Sunny Glendale, California. We're outdoor. I'm gonna zoom in here. 100% zoom. Reflection. It's also 4K. Alright, there you guys go. 1080p quality with the 6s Plus. Guys, we're doing sample 1080p video here with the Galaxy Note 5. I'm just going to record this car that we have parked in our alley. Okay. Capture pictures in the midst of it, of course. Zoom in, you can see the quality stays pretty good when you zoom in and zoom out. Solid audio. That's a nice car, isn't it? Okay. I just wanted to get some quick video here. Alright, there you guys go. Sample 1080p video with the Galaxy Note 5. Thank you guys. Okay, now looking at their respective galleries, you can see how those look here. Alright, now I have the option of doing the live photos here. If I was to push hard using the 3D touch, you can see how that works here. Gives you like a little sketch of the picture. I could just close out of that. If I have a video, I can long press, watch the video, share it, save it, delete.
1080p video here with
And a similar feature here is available with the S Pen on the Note 5. So you can see I can hover over a picture. They used to have this with your finger as well, but I can hover over the picture, I can share it, I can delete it, edit it, etc. You can see their editing options as well. You know, you have a multitude of different editing options, so you may not even need to download a third-party app. Okay, there's Nala right there. Alright, so I can use the S Pen, of course. The S Pen is unique in its own way as well. You can see the different options: Action Memo, Smart Select, Screen Write, Add Shortcut. So it's kind of useful if you like to write notes on the go and whatnot. You can take a screenshot, edit the screenshot, and there it is right there. So I can just X out of this here by deleting it. Okay, the S Pen works across the board. So I can use it for pretty much everything except games. A lot of games don't function with the S Pen. So that's pretty much that with the S Pen. Functional, useful. So the 3D touch can be used in the gallery, but it can also be used here on the home screen. I'll show you guys how this works. So of course you've always had the ability to move an icon around on iOS, but now with 3D touch you have the ability to basically put pressure on the screen, and you can see the shortcuts that you get here. And this works across the board as well, but not for every app. And third-party apps will eventually be developed for this feature. So you can see I could check my messages, I could check my emails by just putting pressure on it, tabs and whatnot on Safari. You know, calendar, add event, reminders. This also works in the gallery or when I text, for example. So if I long press, I can move the cursor around, or if I push hard, put pressure on it there. Okay, see how that works? Alright, speaking of keyboard, let's look at both respective keyboards. Okay, now this would be Samsung's stock keyboard. Of course, this is Apple's keyboard. Both are super responsive. You know, the iPhone keyboard has always had that extra bit of responsiveness, but of course you have swipe. And you can download third-party keyboards for both. And I'll actually write that out. You can also draw a picture. So you see how that works. Of course, both also have voice dictation on the keyboards. Hey, what's going on? What are you doing today? Okay, so voice dictation is there as well. Alright, multitasking. See how the iPhone looks? Close out of apps, close out of apps. You can just click on close all. Boom, they're gone. You don't have a back key on the iPhone. That's something that you may or may not care about. It comes inconvenient when, say, you're in the browser and you're browsing a website. Okay, pinch zoom on both is super fast, super fluid. You see the tabs here, easy to use, easy enough at least. Alright, let's look at both of their respective calculators. We're just going to go through the software here. Actually, we could do some speed tests here. Let's do messages, performance speed, that is. Alright, settings. Oops, that didn't work right, but you can see their respective settings. You can edit the settings on the Galaxy. You can search settings here on the iPhone. I've always been pretty simplistic. I'm getting a million notifications. Okay, you can see their respective weather apps, of course. So in terms of looks, of course, Android has the widgets, iOS does not, but you do have the ability to put specific widgets, as I like to call them, here in the notification center. Alright, you can see how notifications work here as well. You can just X out of one. Of course, you also have the control center, which you can't customize. A bit bummed about that. And on the Note 5, you have the control or the notification bar, toggles, which you can edit. Thank you for that, Samsung. And of course, you have the app drawer. You can edit this, you can add folders. Adding folders in general is very easy to do. You just drag an icon into another icon, you create a folder. Of course, you also have the ability to add Flipboard, which I don't like. You can adjust screen, grid, themes, widgets. So there's a multitude of different themes. That's something that I think a lot of Android users like, Samsung users in general. They like the ability to add themes. My girlfriend loves adding themes. I mean, she's obsessive with her icons and themes. So, you know, it's a feature that some people complain about. Oh, I like my phone to just do what it does. Whereas other people do like it. Now if I was to go to wallpapers here, you can see the wallpapers that comes with the Note 5. You have the motion effect, which basically allows you to move it around as such. And on the iPhone, you have wallpapers as well, which I'll show you. And this new wallpaper, which again applies towards the pressure that you put on the screen. So if I was to go to live, you can see how this works, live photo. But I can't seem to get it, I can only seem to get it working on a lock screen. I guess that's what it is. But see, I'm putting pressure on the screen and it's moving. So not very high quality. I wish the quality was a little bit higher. But their wallpapers in general, the stills are pretty high quality. So no doubt about that. Solid wallpapers. Super fast phone. I mean, this thing is definitely very fast. But I say that every year about every iPhone because honestly, they're always really super fast. So it's not like the iPhone has gotten any slower. It's not like it's suddenly going to get slower, start lagging, quote unquote. And that's what a lot of people complain about with the Note. And then Samsung and Android in general, they say, well, it's bloated with TouchWiz and bloatware. And I agree with you. I hate the fact that carriers put bloatware on their device. They could learn a lesson from Apple. Manufacturers, no carrier bloatware, please. We're tired of it. We don't need it. We don't want to root our devices and void our warranties just to get rid of it. We don't want it. For the most part, it's useless. I mean, some people may find it useful. Personally, I don't. So we can get rid of the bloatware. But the Note 5 has been super fast and super fluid. I'm not complaining in terms of its speed. And I'm going to go ahead and just open a game here. Show you guys what games look like in comparison. Not the best in terms of graphics, but hard to do while I'm recording a video, but alright, just real quick, exit out. Let's go ahead and watch some video.
Hey guys, welcome to Technability, your source for no-nonsense tech. My name is Berge, and we get the Apple iPhone 6s, which we're going to review right now. Your source for no-nonsense tech. My name is Berge, and we get the Apple iPhone 6s, which we're going to review right now. We're going to get straight to the point here.
And you have the ability to adjust quality even under the
you guys don't want to hear me talk too much, but
mobile network.
Introduce myself, I'm Berge of Technability. Again, your source for no-nonsense tech. If you haven't, go ahead.
And on the on the iPhone, unfortunately, you can't adjust the quality unless you're on a Wi-Fi network.
Get straight to the point here and review the 6s.
Well, it's loud.
If that's what you guys want to see. You guys don't want to hear me talk too much, but I am going to introduce myself. I'm Berge of Technability. Again,
Okay. So of course you also have the ability to use your phone like this on the iPhone, which I'm a big fan of, and you can double tap on the home button, which I'll show you what that does right now. So I'll just double tap on the home button. You can see how that works. So if you don't want to reach all the way up, just double tap. That works in a variety of different apps as well. So that's there. Of course, both have their music apps. Google Music, you got Samsung Milk, you got Apple Music, of course iTunes and all that good stuff. So that's there as well. If you're an audiophile, a ton of different music options are on both devices. So no doubt you shouldn't have any issues with your music library. You can see what their dialers look like. Similar color schemes, right? Okay, exit out of that. Let's go ahead and play with Siri versus Google now. Tell me the weather.
It's 92 degrees and sunny in Los
today and
Angeles.
October 5th, 2015.
What is 6 minus 6 times 3 plus 6 plus 9 to the second power?
The answer is 75.
Checking my sources. Let me think. The
Yeah,
answer
they
is
both got it.
75.
But Google now got it first. Who is the 13th president of the United States?
Millard Fillmore
Let's
was
see
the
what we can
13th
find.
president of the United
The answer
States.
is Millard Fillmore.
Open camera. Okay. How old is President Barack Obama?
Barack
Barack
Obama
Obama
is
is
54.
54 years old.
Of course, you have the ability to say OK Google or Hey Siri on both devices. Show me a picture of Gandhi.
Here are some images of Gandhi
Check
I
out these
found on the
pictures
web.
for Gandhi.
All right. Tell me a joke.
Let me think.
And you can go on and on with both of these. Both very intuitive, both seamless with their respective systems with iOS and with Android. Lollipop, of course, with TouchWiz on the Galaxy Note 5. So you can go on and on with Google and Siri now if you want to just go ahead and have fun with those two robotic friends of yours. Alright, so, there's probably a lot I didn't cover in terms of this comparison, but I just wanted to do well, it didn't come out to be too quick because it's 20 minutes, but I did want to just go ahead and showcase the devices in general, and if you have any questions in relation to the details of both softwares, you could check out their individual reviews where I cover as much as I possibly can. Again, just going around the devices, you can see both beautiful devices. If style is your thing, if build quality is your thing, then you're not going to have an issue here. Hopefully the 6S Plus doesn't have bend gate issues or screen popping out issues, screen gate, which I did a video on last year. My screen was popping out from the side. Again, it's a little bit thicker, 7.3 millimeters versus last year 7.1. So hopefully you won't have that issue. And with the Note 5, I have heard of some people who said that the back glass is cracked. So both have their downfalls. You just have to be careful. Purchase a case, maybe insurance. Again, if you break it, we repair phones here at Technability, so you can contact us. We take shipped-in devices, so let us know. If you guys have any questions in relation to both these devices, ask me in the comment section below. I am going to choose a winner right now because that's what I promised I would do in my 6S Plus review. And my winner is the Galaxy Note 5. Now you may be asking yourself why. Okay, well I'm going to give you the explanation to why I prefer the Galaxy Note 5 and why I think it's a better phone. Number one, it's not as big, believe it or not. It doesn't have as much bezel on the front. You got a 5.7-inch screen with a smaller form factor. They really cut off the bezel. Whereas with the iPhone, I feel like the 6S Plus, you got too much bezel up top, you got too much on the bottom. Maybe not so on the bottom as much as on the top. I feel like it could have been a little bit smaller, and you can see the difference there in size. So just overall in terms of design, I do prefer the Galaxy Note 5. It doesn't feel as slippery even though it's got a glass back as the 6S Plus. I've almost felt like I was going to drop the 6S Plus 3 or 4 times in the past day. In terms of battery life, okay, yes, the 6S Plus has been great in the last day, but the Note 5 hasn't been that bad itself. I'm a heavy user. I've been using the phone all day. I still have 77% of battery, so it's not bad. We're a quarter of the way through the day. And just in terms of overall build quality, overall feel, functionality, the software, ease of use, yes, I think the Note 5 and Android is easier to use in my opinion in terms of multitasking. And just in terms of the way that it functions and the way that it feels, I feel like this device fits me better for my business and for my personal life. Widgets, the ability to put widgets, the notification bar, I prefer here on Android. Not everyone may agree, but I just feel like it's easier to use. It's more common sense. Boom, boom, every notification shows up. I don't like the bloatware that shows up, but you could disable that with a little bit of research. I like the toggles. I don't like that I need to have a control center and a notification center to have toggles. And just in terms of its camera, I think the camera is killer on this device. I prefer this camera over the 6S Plus thus far. That may change, we'll see. I'll let you guys know when I do my follow-up review. But as of today, as of right now, I would say Note 5 over 6S Plus.